This is how I built a tennis notebook app in 2 weeks.
Hey guys, I'm Romain and I love building apps, and I wanted to talk about my tennis notebook app today. If you've seen one of my last videos, you know I love tennis, and this is an app I built specifically for myself more than anyone else first. It's a very niche app. I don't think there's a lot of use case for it, but if you're someone who might be interested, I hope you do give it a shot. But generally, I love journaling. I've been journaling for 7-8 years. I'm very data driven, and this is an app I built to basically track all my tennis stats, matches, and things like that by myself. So why did I build this app, and what's the basis behind it? If you've seen any tennis player, or if you yourself are a tennis player, you know pros and a lot of rec level players will keep a small little handbook, and they will use that to journal their matches, their opponents, keep track of things they need to work on. But it's 2025, journaling is fun and there's a retro vibe to it, but I wanted it to be modernized and be able to do it on your phone. Of course, at the pro level or when you're playing professional tournaments, you cannot actually use your phone when you sit for breaks, but at the rec level, you definitely can. So that's where I play and that's where I built it for. So basically, tennis journaling, but on your phone. But yeah, let's take a quick look at how the app works. So once you open the app, you have three tabs: your matches, your players, and your profiles. You could add all the players you want, basically give them any information. Take a look at this, where I add in their players in rating, their playing style, some analysis on their strengths, weakness, and notes, things like that. And basically you can use that in your matches. When you're adding a match, you can select if it's a doubles or a singles, which date you're playing on, which opponent you're playing against, the match formats, and any pre-match goals. Just to show you a match I had recently, it was on March 9th. I ended up winning, but I had some pre-match goals because this was a new opponent I never played, and some post-match thoughts on how I played, basically anything I was thinking afterwards that I was like, oh, I played good, I played bad, things like that. And lastly, you have your profile. This is something I really wanted because this is something I used to do in my other notes app, where I used to write down things about my tennis that I want to keep in mind every time I'm playing. Whenever I go to play tennis, if I'm using the restroom or something, I used to take a look at this basically just to remind myself, hey, this is the things I want to keep in mind. So things like don't play scared, because nerves is a big thing in the tennis world. Make sure to toss high. If I'm feeling like my serve is not hitting, make sure to toss high again, because sometimes I'll start tossing really low without realizing it, things like that. You can also see some of your last few matches and analytics. Don't look at that set win percentage, that's terrible. But yeah, that's the general gist of the app. And yeah, I'm gonna add more features in the future, hopefully basically being able to track your equipment, which kind of rackets you're using, things like that, when you got them last strung. But yeah. Okay, now for my tech nerds. How did I build this app? I did talk about it briefly in my previous video, how I was planning on doing it. But now that it's out and about on the Play Stores and App Stores, let's talk about it. So I use React Native for my framework of choice. I've been using React my whole life, and I picked up React Native last year or so. I'm using Expert Router for the routing system in the app, and I'm using Tailwind CSS. But in the React Native world, we use Native Wind, which is basically using Tailwind CSS. It's been really fantastic. Transition has been amazing, and love using React Native to build apps. Plan on building a lot more this year. Now, backend is the main meat and pie here. Meat and pie, is that a thing? But generally, I've been using Firebase for most of my projects. It's been a breeze. I love using Firebase, but at one point I realized having relational data is just so much easier for most of the apps I built. They're so based on relation, and having to create all these crazy relations in Firebase has been pretty hard. I will miss some of the cloud functionalities and all the other stuff, but yeah. That's the reason I decided to go with Supabase this time. And honestly, it's been amazing using Supabase. I'm trying to get used to it, learning the techniques, and I am not that good at SQL. But it's a world of AI. I'm using Cursor, and it's been a breeze. I ask it what to do, I understand what it's trying to tell me, and I apply those changes, and it's been amazing. Seems like I have a coder who knows SQL for me, helping me out. And that's the general gist of it. I don't have any backend database or anything, a backend server or anything set up for this, unlike some of my other apps. Maybe in the future, I do maybe plan to integrate AI in the future for like better summarizations of stuff. At that point, I'll have to set up a server. I usually set up a cheap server on render.com, which is technically $7 for the lowest tier. It doesn't give you the strongest, powerful computers to use, but I am thinking of using DigitalOcean to set up my own server so I can get something much stronger for a lower price. I know you can also go with Hertzner, but yeah. But generally, the flow of how I build my apps are I design some screens on Figma first, then I start coding them in parallel usually in my React Native project, and I make quick changes and just update them on the flow. If it was a project with other people, I would have the responsibilities separated out, but because it's only me, I kind of do everything as I'm feeling on the flow. Yeah, no need to like document everything basically. But that's the general gist of the app really. Right now I did add paywall using RevenueCat right now, but it's pretty much free. The paywall is basically you can add up to 10 players max at the point and 3 matches per week. But I plan on adding more features in the future, especially if I have more users coming in. There's a feature I really want to add that I have not seen any apps have, and that's something I feel like I would love to use, but it's pretty complicated to implement. Don't want to give it away right now, but I would have to definitely use Reanimated, maybe React Native Skia if you've heard of that, because I want people to be able to draw basically. If you are a tennis nerd, maybe you know what I'm talking about, but yeah. And the other thing is having to market the app. I am really bad at marketing. As I've said in previous videos, these videos are a way for me to grow an audience base so I can market my apps faster and quicker. But maybe I'll make some TikTok videos in the future where I market specifically to tennis players. And we'll see how that goes. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If it is an app you want to try, please try it out. Let me know if anything you want me to add or if any criticism or any feedback basically. But other than that, if you have any other videos you want to see from me making, it could be code related, how to build an app from 0 to 100, whatever you need, let me know. I would love to make more videos. So yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.